there are increased chances of second primaries, as you can see, 2.2 times more in current smokers as compared to 1.2 times. So this has been published, and that is why it is very important for us to counsel our patients at the time of diagnosis that yes, you have got cancer, you need this and this treatment, but at the same time you need to stop using tobacco. The very reason why you have landed up here. This is something which we lack in our day-to-day busy practices, and we need to focus on this. Another question, why somebody else who had been using tobacco even much more than me is safe and I'm being affected? So what happens is, as I've already explained, carcinogens bind to DNA forming carcinogen DNA adducts, and these adducts lead to mutations. Now these mutations are normally repaired. Many of them are repaired, and the repair mechanism includes several enzymes. Now, how does this enzyme come into being? These enzymes are formed by genetic coding. So there are genes for these enzymes. Lack of these genes or difference in genetic structure leads to this genetic polymorphism, why some people might be tolerating it till date and why others have succumbed to it. So this is the reason why, one of the very genuine reason why people have this varied presentations with tobacco use. Is there any safe level of using tobacco? Sorry, there isn't. Why? Because of the content, nicotine. It is highly addictive in nature, and there is no safe level you can think of. How about e-cigarettes? So first thing, it is completely banned in India since September 2019. There is no evidence to suggest its benefit. US FDA has not approved it for tobacco cessation purpose. Rather, it is being feared to exacerbate the addiction rates. This is as per American Association of Cancer Research, National Comprehensive Cancer Network, and American Society of Clinical Oncology. Lastly, how about smokers and COVID? Let me make it very clear. WHO had issued a statement that smokers are at high risk for mortality from COVID-19. So beware. So what I wanted to emphasize through my slides is tobacco cessation approach is very important. At the time of diagnosis, there are several models which we can follow in our OPDs to assess, assist, and arrange for tobacco cessation programs for the patient. One slide on e-cigarettes and flavored cigarettes. As I was telling you, e-cigarettes are, though they don't contain several thousands of biochemical substances or carcinogens to the extent a standard cigarette contains, it do contain ultrafine particles, heavy metals, nicotine, and lead, which are equally damaging, and they have been banned in India. As about flavored cigarettes, let me clear it for all my young viewers that flavored cigarettes, do they reduce the irritation caused while inhaling the cigarette smoke? There are studies to show that the smoke goes deeper than the standard form of the cigarettes. And nowadays, we are seeing increased incidence of peripherally located adenocarcinomas as compared to centrally located squamous cell carcinomas, which was seen a couple of decades ago. Adenocarcinomas are relatively radio-resistant and chemo-resistant tumors. So cessation is important. How we can go about it? Of course, Dr. Sneha will be covering it in details, but behavioral therapy, we need to tell our patients that, see, these are the agents being used while manufacturing a cigarette, even methane sewer gas, nicotine, which is used as insecticide, industrial solvents, all these chemicals are used in cigarette manufacturing. We need to demotivate them regarding this and motivate about that it's not too late. We do have time left. There are certain changes which keep occurring the moment you quit tobacco or smoking. As you can see, by end of 15 years, your risk of heart disease and smoking-related death is now similar to someone who never smoked. So it's never too late to quit. But if somebody fails through this, we do have pharmacological therapies like transdermal patches, nicotine gums, lozenges, inhalers, nasal sprays, bupropion, which is nothing but nicotine receptor blocker, and Valenclin, which is again dopaminergic reward and nicotine receptor blocker, which can be used by psychiatrists mainly. So this is how a patch can be applied. So there are regimens based on number of cigarettes we smoke or grams of tobacco used per day. So if it's more than 20 cigarettes per day or more than 4 grams per day, this is the regimen, 21, 14, and 7 milligrams to be used for every 4 weeks. Less than 20 cigarettes or less than 4 grams, then 14, 7, 7 milligrams. Similar regimens are available for chewing gums which are easily available on the internet.